Well, good morning. Hi, Carrie from down in Texas on this Wednesday. No rain. Yay! In Houston. How are you guys this morning? Up early, getting ready. Got a big day, got a lot to do. So I am getting myself organized. I forgot to turn my phone off, so let's do that first thing so we are not interrupted. And how are you? I hope your week is going well. Oh, yesterday was a busy day. I heard from so many of you. Wow. Love that. Love that. I love hearing from you guys and getting feedback. That is really important to me. So let's get ourselves going this morning. Just putting a little bit of moisturizing gloss on my lips. They're really dry today. We have some cold weather coming here in the Houston area, so, and as I've said to you, our weather here can be 80 and then 40 within a 4-hour span, so it's impossible to try to keep up with it down here. So let's get going. Grab your drink. Of course, me and my trusty iced coffee, which is my favorite of all time. Many of you may or may not know that I am recovering from weight loss surgery. I had weight loss surgery 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. And so I'm very restricted on what I can and can't drink. I can't drink any sodas. And so for me, one of the things that changed with my surgery was coffee consumption. I love coffee, always been a coffee drinker. But the hotness of the coffee, I'm struggling still 2 years later. So that's why I'm always drinking iced coffee. So I hope that answers your question, Lisa, who asked me that yesterday. Okay, let's get going. Do you have your tools? Do you have your drink? And if you need something to eat, grab that and let's get going. So I wanted to talk to you guys while I'm doing my prep products, and this is my CoverGirl moisturizer, color corrector, and primer. I'm putting that on. I'm just going to blend them all today. Then I'm putting on my e.l.f. hydrating concealer. Not concealer, I'm sorry. Primer. I'm getting all that really done and in. And while we're working on that and getting that all over, I wanted to address a question that I had from one of my community members yesterday. And so I do want to address it. No one's ever asked me before, but I'm thrilled to answer the questions for you because for me, part of having this channel is trying to be as honest and open with all of my community members as possible. And the question was, have I had any Botox, any fillers, or any plastic surgery? And the answer to all of those is no, I have not. I have been extremely blessed all my life to have beautiful skin. My mom, when I was growing up, did a remarkable job of instilling in me how important taking care of my skin is. And so for me, I have always tried to take really good care of my skin, wash my skin, use, moisturizers. Now, when you're young and you're just getting into your adulthood, you don't give a lot of thought to that, or at least I didn't. But I always had moisturizer. And to be honest with you, the moisturizer that I used up until probably maybe 5 or 6 years ago was Baby Johnson lotion. You know, the lotion that you put on your baby. I always had that. I have always used it. I've used it on my face. I've always been very blessed with good skin. I have never been one to sun worship. So I have never just sat out in the sun and baked. I shouldn't say never. Maybe 2 or 3 times in my life have I really ever gone deliberately and sat in the sun and baked in the sun. It's just not something that I had any interest in, mainly because as an Australian, we have a predisposition to skin cancer. And I've had skin cancer in, my family. And so it's just not something that was really ever on my radar. I have always worn SPF. My foundation that I'm wearing, that I just put on, this House Labs, has that included in it. When I go out into the sun, I am always wearing a hat. Shouldn't use words like always and all that, but 90% of the time I'm wearing a hat because of this predisposition for skin cancer. I am extremely fair. I burn really easily, so I just have always taken really good care of my skin. And I have always moisturized my skin. Even when I was younger, I would just take, I can remember taking Baby Johnson's 2 big squirts and just literally putting it all over my face and then just letting it dry itself in. I think the reason, those things along with, in the last 5 years or so, being very diligent about taking care of my skin has really made a dramatic difference in my skin, and in particular since my weight loss surgery. I have been very, very specific and concise about my skincare routine, because when you have weight loss surgery, your body, including your skin, goes through a drastic change, and I saw a drastic change in my skin. I lost so much fat in my face that my body could not keep up, and so consequently I started to see some problems here and some problems here, and so I've been very, very diligent since then to have a routine. I stick with the routine. I have found products that work for me, and I don't deviate. I don't sleep in my makeup. I try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. I try to rest. I try to at least one day a week, especially if it's on a weekend and I'm working out in the yard, I try not to put any makeup on, just so my skin can breathe. I think that's really important. Our skin is our biggest organ, and it is our line of defense, and so we really do have to spend some time taking care of it. And then another really important step has been, because I am mature, I'm not going to say old, mature, and because I have mature skin, getting a collagen replacement system products on board is a must, because as you age, that diminishes, and you've got to be able to put that back into your skin. Collagen is the building blocks for our skin, and if you don't have enough of it and your body is not producing it like it used to, then you have to supplement. And so I think that has been a very, very important step for me. I use a product that I get through my distributorship through my mental wellness company. It's a 2-step system. It's a spray and a serum, and it has drastically helped my skin get where it is today. And I'm happy to share a link. If you want a link, I can send you a link to the product, and I can send you the video so you can find out all about it, do your research. I absolutely endorse that product, and I think it could be a game changer for you. I'm not going to lie, I have thought about having some, help done, especially here where I'm struggling from my weight loss surgery, and here, it's really scary. This surgery is really scary, and I'm just not sure that I'm there yet. Maybe, depending on another facet of my career, it kind of may force me down that road, but right now I'm really not ready to make that decision. So, having said all of that, I hope that answers your question. It's not off the table. Surgery is not off the table, but it is put on a shelf for right now until I do a lot more research, talk to a lot more people, and really talk to a good surgeon as to whether or not I'm a candidate for it. But it's definitely not something that's going to be even considered for probably at least another year, potentially two. Like I said, unless I get to a point where it's something that I need for the endeavors that I'm working on. Okay, let's get back to getting ourselves together here this morning. I am using my pink LA Girls Pro Pink Concealer. And as you can see, I'm wearing sort of burnt orange and blacks today. Browns, a little bit of browns. My leggings are a burnt, dark burnt orangey brown color. And I'm getting the concealer, I'm putting it up on my eye socket, up onto my eyelids to correct any miscolorations there. And just get all this blended in really well. My husband just woke up this morning. Alright, let's see how we're doing here. Okay, concealer on, foundation on. Again, to just reiterate, this is a phenomenal foundation. I think for mature skin, this one, I would encourage everybody with mature skin to try that. It too has made a substantial improvement in the overall appearance and condition of my skin. And I love it because my skin breathes, and that for me is a really big, important piece of finding a product for me that works. Alright, today we are going to just use our pressed Revlon 24-hour finishing powder, and we're going to start up here in the eyes. And this is my powder right here. I'm going to get all that sealed up. And get that ready for dry products now. But first we're going to work on brows. So it's hump day for everyone. I hope your week is going remarkably well. Mine has been a very busy week, busy start to the year, which is great. And as I've mentioned, I'm really enjoying this new brow system that I'm using. It's very easy. And for me to say that's a big thing, because I am not one to deviate and use these new products and systems, but this one is really easy, and I do like the way my brows look when I'm done. Alright, one down. It goes on so easily, this pencil. I am hardly putting any pressure on this pencil, and it just glides. It just glides on and fills in. And as I mentioned yesterday, you know, I am just using the natural shape of my brow. I'm not making any effort to change that shape at all. I got a little too far here, so we're gonna have to fix that, but we can do that. Just come back in and fix that end. Went a little too far there on that end. Very good. And don't forget, on this product there's also a spoolie at the end, which is great. Alright. Step 1. Step 2 is the wax. And we just take the wax and let it coat each hair. Definitely locks them in place for the day. He hasn't been out yet. Husband's just gonna go for his walk. Okay. Okay, so the wax is on now. And then the third and final step is the brow actual color. And so I'm just now filling in where I have some lack of color in my brows, and we are just making sure that the hairs have color on them with this final step here. And I do still need to fix that one end where I swiped it off a minute ago. Didn't get it back enough. It's really hard for me to see the end of this little little pencil here. Okay, just gotta. I think that looks pretty good. I don't do well with my, I don't know what it's called, but the distance perception, I don't do well with that at all. I struggle with that on every aspect of that. So they may not be exactly, you know, exactly in the same spot, but they are okay for me. So we'll leave it at that. Alright, today I'm going to be using this really pretty little palette that I got from Shein. It's the same brand, Dikalu, D-I-K-A-L-U. It's this beautiful, as you can see, sort of neutral, burnt orangey brown cream color palette. that is going to be perfect for this shirt and the colors in this shirt. So I'm going to use the lightest color, and we're going to put that all over the lid, from the lid down up into right underneath my brow bone. This is sort of a I don't know what you'd call it, a prep color, just an overall base color that I'm putting up in the eye socket itself. It's just a very, very, very soft, creamy tan color. And we're just getting that all up in there. Now, that was this color right here. Now I'm going to come through and I'm going to pick up this really beautiful burnt orange color. It'd be perfect for those people who love the University of Texas. It must be the exact match, I think. So we're going to put that up in this transitional area up here. And we're loading it up. It's a beautiful saturated color. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous color. Works beautiful with brown eyes, obviously, because it's in that tone, that family tone of colors. We're getting that really, really blended with back and forth windshield wipe motion, and taking it up to the eye bone, to the big bone under my brow. Getting it up there so you can actually see the color here. And then we are going to come back on the lid, and we're going to use just a little, so this is the color that we just put up in the transition, and the next color next to it, which is just a little bit darker, neutral color, we're going to come back and we're going to fill that in down here on the actual lid part of my eye. So that's going to go on the lid right there. Then we're going to use a very small brush, tiny little brush, and we're going to go back into that burnt orange, and we're going to mix it with the brown to do underneath and on the bottom lash line. And then we're going to clean that off just a second again, and then pick up more of the orangey color and go a little bit lower the next time. Just adding a little bit of more burnt orange to underneath the lashes. Then I'm going to take the brown and I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to put it right here on this outer V section of my lid. So as you can see, I'm just doing a very faint, natural, light, wispy wing. Barely noticeable, but you can when you get up, and I'm using the brown for that. Just putting it right there on that outer corner. And then just ever so slightly mixing it with the transition color in my crease. Beautiful. Now, there is some fallout here today. I did expect it. I've used this one before, so I knew that we were going to have some fallout. Taking my triangular powder puff and dipping back into my Revlon Color Stay powder, and we're just sweeping away the fallout. We're also adding a little bit more color, brightness to the under eye area. Now, I do want to make sure that I do not have any dark shadowing right here. So I'm going to dip into that powder with a brush, and I'm just going to make sure that I've got a really light color going right here. I do not want to see a orange or brown shadow right here. When you see that for me, right here in this area right here, it can definitely make my eyes feel like they're sunken, and I don't want that. And I do have to fix a brow, I just realized. I am not even here. That is better. Alright. Runny nose, I'm so sorry. So we got our brows done, we've got our eyeshadows done, and now